let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
We must do what America does best, offer more opportunity to all and demand more responsibility from all.
I stand here knowing that my story is part of the larger American story, that I owe a debt to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible.
You know, I'm like a smart person. I'm much more humble than you would understand.
I'm the best thing that's ever happened to the Secret Service.
I have the best temperament, or certainly one of the best temperaments of anybody that's ever run for the office of president. Ever.
I am the world's greatest person that does not want to let people into the country.
Nobody's ever been more successful than me.
No one has done more for people with disabilities than me.
I'm the most successful person ever to run for the presidency. By far.
Nobody in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump.
I'm the least racist person you have ever interviewed. I'm the least racist person you will find anywhere in the world.
There's nobody who understands the horror of nuclear more than me.
Number 1. I am the least anti-Semitic person that you've ever seen in your entire life. Number 2. Racism. The least racist person.
There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
There's nobody that feels stronger about the intelligence community and the CIA than Donald Trump.
And I was so furious at that story, because there's nobody that respects women more than I do.
There's nobody that's done so much for equality as I have.
She can't talk about me because nobody respects women more than Donald Trump.
There's nobody that has more respect for women than I do.
Nobody has more respect for women than Donald Trump.
I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me. Believe me.
Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody.
I am going to save Social Security without any cuts. I know where to get the money from. Nobody else does. Nobody respects women more than I do.
Nobody knows debt better than me. I think nobody knows the system better than I do.
Nobody reads the Bible more than me.
Nobody knows jobs like I do.
Nobody loves the Bible more than I do.
I know more about renewables than any human being on earth.
Nobody does self-deprecating humor better than I do. It's not even close.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do.
Nobody knows more about taxes than I do. Maybe in the history of the world.
I'm very highly educated. I know words. I have the best words.
Nobody knows more about trade than me.
Actually, I'm a very compassionate person with a very high IQ with strong common sense.
Nobody knows the visa system better than me. I know the H-1B. I know the H-2B. Nobody knows it better than me.
I watch these pundits on television and, you know, they call them intellectuals. They're not intellectuals. I'm much smarter than them. I think I have a much higher IQ. I think I went to a better college.
I know more about offense and defense than they will ever understand. Believe me. Believe me. Than they will ever understand. Than they will ever understand.
I know more about contributions than anybody.
I know more about wedges than any human being that's ever lived.
Sorry, losers and haters, but my IQ is one of the highest and you all know it. Please don't feel so stupid or insecure. It's not your fault.
I know more about drones than anybody.
We can't let these people, these so-called eggheads, and by the way, I guarantee you my IQ is much higher than theirs. All right.
I know more about Corey than he knows about himself.
Somebody said the other day, yes, well, the intellectuals. I said, what intellectuals? I'm smarter than they are.
I know our complex tax laws better than anyone who has ever run for president.
Nobody respects women more than Donald Trump.
I'm speaking with myself. Number one, because I have a very good brain and I've said a lot of things.